The emergency. A patient you cannot refuse. Your hands are already soaked in blood when the door explodes open. Not hospital blood. Not the clean, predictable kind that comes with surgical gloves and consent forms. This blood smells like gunpowder. 3 armed men storm into your tiny clinic carrying a 4th guy whose chest looks like someone tried to uninstall his lungs with a shotgun. One of the men slams a duffel bag onto your desk. It spills open. Stacks of cash. More money than your clinic makes in 5 years. One of the men leans close enough that you can smell tequila and violence on his breath. "Doctor," he says calmly. "This man dies, you die with him. Congratulations. You've just received the most aggressive job offer of your career. Medical school debt. The first compromise 3 months earlier. Your life is painfully normal. You're a brilliant trauma surgeon stuck in the world's most depressing startup environment, public healthcare. Your clinic is bleeding money faster than your patients bleed on the table. Student loans are crushing your lungs like a python. The bank calls daily. Your landlord leaves polite little eviction notes taped to your door. In business terms, your life has negative ROI. You went to medical school believing you'd save lives. Reality check. You spend your days prescribing cheap antibiotics to people who can't afford them and filling out insurance paperwork that looks like it was designed by Satan's HR department. You're drowning. So when the cartel patient survives that night, because you stitch him together like a Michelin star chef assembling a complicated dish, and they hand you a briefcase with $200,000 inside, your moral compass doesn't explode. It simply pivots. The retainer contract, healthcare for monsters. A week later, the cartel sends a black SUV to pick you up. No negotiations. No paperwork. Just a simple corporate proposal. You become their private doctor. On retainer. Think of it like concierge medicine, except your patients occasionally arrive with bullet holes and the emotional intelligence of sharks. Your job is simple. Patch them up. Ask no questions. And most importantly, never report anything. You hesitate for about 12 seconds. Then you sign the deal. Because in the brutal marketplace of survival, ethics are a luxury product. And you're shopping in the discount aisle. The supply chain, running a black market hospital. Your career upgrade is immediate. Your tiny clinic transforms into a covert trauma center funded by drug money. Needs surgical equipment? The cartel buys it. Need rare medications? They fly them in. Need blood supplies? Let's just say their donor recruitment strategy is very aggressive. You start operating like a startup founder with unlimited venture capital. Except your investors solve problems with machetes. Your reputation spreads through the cartel like wildfire. You're not just a doctor anymore. You're an asset, a strategic resource, the human equivalent of critical infrastructure. Every criminal empire needs accountants, lawyers, and someone who can keep their soldiers alive long enough to keep killing. That someone is you. And business is booming. The moral inventory. Counting the bodies one night, you finally do the math. You've treated 143 cartel members. Gunshot wounds, knife wounds, explosive injuries. Every time you save one, the organization sends him right back into the field. Back to smuggling. Back to extortion. Back to murder. You're not healing people. You're maintaining a weapon system. You're the repair technician for a machine that runs on blood. For a brief moment, the thought hits you. You could walk away, disappear, start over somewhere. But then you look at your bank account. 7 figures. A house on the beach. Luxury cars. Your student loans erased from existence. Walking away now would feel like shutting down a billion-dollar company just because the product is morally questionable. So you silence that little voice and get back to work. The VIP client. Saving the devil himself. Then one night, the king himself arrives. The cartel boss. Half the country wants him dead. The other half works for him. He's bleeding from 3 gunshot wounds after a failed assassination attempt. Your entire career condenses into one terrifying boardroom meeting with fate. If he dies, the cartel collapses into chaos, which means someone will blame you. You operate for 9 hours straight. Your hands cramp. Your vision blurs. But when the sun rises, the boss opens his eyes. He smiles at you, and says something that chills your spine. Doctor, you just saved an empire. That's the moment your role upgrades again. You're no longer just staff. You're now part of the executive team. The power upgrade. Playing God from that day forward, the rules change. You have privileges no one else has. You can walk into any cartel compound unarmed. Guards salute you. Hitmen shake your hand. You realize something terrifying. In this organization, you decide who lives and who dies. A wounded soldier who betrayed the cartel? You can fail the surgery. A loyal lieutenant bleeding out? You save him. You've become the quiet algorithm behind life and death decisions. Not a doctor, a biological risk manager. You tell yourself you're neutral, professional, but power has a way of corrupting even the most disciplined systems. And you've just been handed absolute authority over human survival. The crisis. A child on the table, then the nightmare arrives. A cartel lieutenant bursts into your operating room carrying a little girl. His daughter, 8 years old. Stray bullet from a street shootout. She's dying. You work desperately, but the damage is catastrophic. You know the truth immediately. Even with the best surgery, she won't make it. The lieutenant grabs your collar, begging, crying, screaming for a miracle. For the first time in years, you feel something break inside you. Because this child isn't a cartel soldier. She's collateral damage from the machine you helped maintain. You try everything, but an hour later, the heart monitor goes flat. Silence. The lieutenant collapses. And in that quiet moment, a horrifying realization hits you. Every life you saved for the cartel led to this moment. The fatal flaw, thinking you're untouchable weeks pass. The cartel continues operating. But something inside you has shifted. You start drinking, start talking, start bragging. At a party one night, high on champagne and arrogance, you laugh and say something incredibly stupid. You know, you tell a friend, without me, this cartel collapses in a month. You believe it. You truly believe you're indispensable. That your medical genius makes you untouchable. But there's a rule in every criminal empire. The same rule that governs corporations, dictatorships, and organized crime alike. No one is bigger than the boss. Not even the guy who saves his life. The final appointment. Your last patient 2 weeks later. The cartel boss summons you. Private meeting. No guards inside the room. He pours you a drink. Thanks you for years of loyal service. Then he calmly explains the problem. You know too much. You've seen too many faces. He can't risk you getting arrested. Or talking. You sit there stunned. After everything you've done for them. This is your reward. But the boss smiles gently, almost sympathetically. You're the best doctor I've ever had, he says. Then he nods to the guards behind you. A needle pierces your neck. Irony of ironies. Poison. Administered by the same medical tools you used for years. As the room fades to black, one final thought drifts through your mind. You spent your whole career saving killers. But you forgot the most important rule of the game. In the cartel, even the doctor is disposable. He can't risk you getting arrested. Or talking. You sit there stunned. After everything you've done for them. This is your reward. But the boss smiles gently, almost sympathetically. You're the best doctor I've ever had, he says. Then he nods to the guards behind you. A needle pierces your neck. Irony of ironies. Poison. Administered by the same medical tools you used for years. As the room fades to black, one final thought drifts through your mind. You spent your whole career saving killers. But you forgot the most important rule of the game. In the cartel, even the doctor is disposable.